I think one of the sort of unique selling points of the festival is the journey and the whole experience of going there. So I guess what we're offering is the festival itself, the 3 days on the shores of Lake Malawi, but also it's that journey of getting there, and everything from getting your flights and looking into researching the trip, to your change at Nairobi Airport in Kenya, to find your plane touching down in the middle of nowhere. That's what it looks like when you first land, and then making that journey onwards to the festival. I mean, we've always booked Malawi artists. I mean, one of the main aims of the event is to boost Malawi music and exposure for Malawian artists. So it's about giving them a chance to perform to an international crowd, introducing them to international artists and media as well. So it's always African artists, Malawi artists, and then European Western artists as well, playing together. We've got 3 stages of the beach bar, the bandstand, and the main stage. The main stage is pretty much, that's the only place where the full live bands happen, and the programming of it will switch. We try and keep it so you might have a 10-piece Malawian reggae band, then you'll have some skinny beatboxer from Nottingham, and then it'll be Basement Jacks. It'll just be really, really varied. So it's not a case that someone can just go and expect the one genre of music to be on that day at a certain time. And so it mixes it up, and it means that the crowd, who are from all over the place, I mean all across Africa and Europe, it means that they're exposed to the different music as well. And often we find that, as I said before, it might be that someone buys a ticket because they heard Annie Cater was playing, but what they come back talking about is Lucius Banda, this big Malawi artist that they saw perform, and it happens the same way round for the Malawian crowd. The site itself is stunning. It's a tropical paradise. Palm trees, white sand, monkeys running through the trees, baboons stealing sugar off the tables, all sorts of things like that going on. And that's really it. When we haven't really got to the point of really dressing it up or creating a sort of arts corner or anything, we're going to have a film tent this year, and possibly seminar and workshops as well. But really, to this point, it's mainly been a lot of the music side, and then I think just bringing in this very diverse crowd onto this stunning location. So since 2004. The festival has changed considerably, and I think this year is going to be the biggest change so far. I started off working with a commercial partner out in Malawi, a company called Umuntu, that were great, and we got the event done. We've since parted ways with them, so this year will be our first year really with us doing everything. So we've got volunteers working here in London, in our office in Shoreditch, and then we've got volunteers in our first ever office out in Blantyre, in Malawi. And it means that in the past we sort of let a lot of the African talent booking, the marketing that happened in Malawi, that was all done by this commercial partner. Now we're taking care of all of it. And I think it means that the message we're trying to put across, which is so our sort of key themes are sort of arts, travel, development, that hasn't really been communicated that well in the past. It's really been a case in the past, I think, of just let's just get this event done, let's make it work somehow. Because the first couple of years it was me sort of financing it and winging it the whole way, and I think we only broke even once, I think, so far. So often it was going home with debts, having to try and save up money to piece it all together again. So it was always a case of like, let's just let's get people booked and let's just make it happen. Whereas now we have actually got a chance to step back a little bit and communicate what we're really trying to do. And we are working with charities like the Microloan Foundation. We are exposing Malawi artists to international media, like Radio 1 have come and covered some of the events we've done. So we're just trying to let a lot of the guys in Malawi know that all this other stuff is going on over here in the UK. So I think that's one way that it has changed. Size-wise as well, it went from 700 people up on a site in the northern part of the country to over 3,000 that we had last year on a new site. So it has grown quite a lot as well. And with that, the word spread. People are coming mainly from Malawi, but we are still getting 300-400 from Europe, and we are getting people doing mad road trips from Mozambique up from South Africa, getting flights from Kenya, and really sort of southern and East African region is really sort of getting onto it and coming down to the event. So the crowd's growing, and I think we're getting, it's changing as well. And I think the artist lineup, we've gone more live from the international side this year with Get Kate, Where Kate Fly and Noisettes and John McClure. I can't remember everyone that's playing, but we're hoping for a lot more collaborations between the artists, whereas in the past we booked DJs from the UK because it was just easier to get a DJ in his record box and a whole band and their entourage. So I think it's moved forward massively this year. Since we began the project, we've worked with different charities. There's been UNICEF in the past, Children in the Wilderness, which is an orphanage up near one of the sites that we used to use. This year we're working with the Microloan Foundation that provide business training and business loans for groups of women in Malawi. Their whole angle is business and trade. The loans they provide have to be repaid with interest, and that goes on to create more loans and more loans offices all across Malawi. We are given part of the ticket sales from the UK side to Microloan, and then we're going to give them a percentage of profit, if there is profit, this year from the Malawi side as well. But what we also offer them is full access to the festival. So that's so obviously it's branding on site, it's arranging project visits with our festival guests, artists and a media crews, and then it's all access to our community and our databases as well. Because for them, what we say to them is use this opportunity to try and recruit more monthly donors and show people firsthand the work that you're doing as well and try and get media coverage for it. So that's what we're doing, those guys, and then we're also this year creating a development exhibition. So we're inviting 40 different NGOs and charities to come and take part in this exhibition and basically have like a billboard up with images and text about the work they do, and then it's a chance for them to network amongst themselves, and then again to hand out information to the festival guests and to spread the word on the work that they're doing in Malawi.